In 2009, St. Benedict's High School was on the brink of failure. Despite having caring leadership, the struggles were overwhelming. Turnover was high for both frustrated staff and unhappy students. By all measurable standards, the school had a nasty reputation. The history of the school's intoxicated violence caused the townspeople to dread their participation in community events. It was known to be the school most likely to start a fight.
The school's nickname in the school language was directly translated to School of Sluts and Thugs. The wild behavior was evidenced in poor test scores, poor performance, drug and alcohol abuse, lying, cheating, stealing, truancy, and complete disrespect for self and others. Substance abuse led to sexual promiscuity, which resulted in a high pregnancy rate and an even higher sexually transmitted disease rate. Profound disregard for authority resulted in difficulty in retaining staff.
In an environment like this, teachers come, teach for a short period of time, and then they just go away. So you can find one teacher is having about 3 to 4 schools is teaching. So you find that that teacher-to-student relationship and the process of guiding students and building it up, it's literally not there.
St. Benedict's is a rural boarding school. Teachers were constantly chasing boys from other schools found hiding in the surrounding bushes looking for sex or drugs. For the 2009 through 2010 school year alone, there were 124 girls and 111 boys at the school. The pregnancy rate among the female students was 33. This 27% pregnancy rate was devastating, yet historically typical for the school.
So you should always be
Matron Mambazi Kevin is a caring nurse and widow. She has worked in the girls' dormitory for many years. In 2009, sad and discouraged, she tearfully described 11 years of rough student behavior, the elevated pregnancy, and STD rates. Her personal story was that she wanted out. 11 years of dealing with these tough kids was wearing her down. She was sad, it was affecting her health, and she was desperate for a change.
We remained working in the darkness, I would say, because things were not all that good on the side of the students. Quarreling, fighting among themselves, smoking, wanting to go out without permission for clubbing.
To encourage Kevin, she was sponsored in the Smile Africa Women's Empowerment Program. It was there she studied the principles of mission for character, ethics first.
I felt that, yes, if I join and encourage students to be there, it may be of my relief on the side of my duties.
In late 2009, Timothy Okiru, a young, recently graduated first-year teacher, began teaching at St. Benedict's part-time. It didn't take him long to discover how bad things were. He learned that there were a number of bad kids who are about to be expelled from their last chance at an education. Timothy had been mentored by his American mama, Wendy Stokes, through Mission for Character. He had already experienced his own transformation. He approached the headmaster and asked for 2 weeks to try and reach these soon-to-be-expelled tough kids. The headmaster gave him a month.
When I introduced to them the Mission for Character principles and then began to share with them and would be giving them ideas like, this is how we are supposed to operate in life. If you are going through these challenges, refer to this principle. And then the kids began to embrace it.
Timothy started with 12 students. He met with them individually and learned their stories. Most truly believed no one cared about them. Some were from Kenya, and no one visited on family vacation days. He offered them one more chance. Their options? Number 1, be expelled from school. Number 2, spend 1 hour a week in Mission for Character, Study one principle at a time in a small group for 40 weeks. Categories to be studied: self-government, productivity, management, and leadership. They agreed, with a really bad attitude, but they agreed.
Within the first few weeks, these kids began to improve their attitude. By 4 weeks, the group had grown to 20. The original 12 tough kids recruited 8 additional kids.
Mama Wendy came to Uganda and they learned more. At 6 weeks, the same kids who were about to be expelled took exams and excelled.
The behavior was changing. Their grades were improving, and other faculty began to see a difference. By 4 months, nearly the whole school was involved. The kids had to share manuals because there were only 50 in the library, yet 200 students were involved.
When we first started, I felt like a schoolgirl going into the headmaster's office. I would go in and they would give me this look like, really? What do you think you're doing? Is this another Mzungu who's going to come in and bring a little something and then go away? But then the results come. And the next time I go to the school, the headmaster is on the side, come in. And he throws people out of his office so he can talk to me.
After 4 months of Mission for Character, Matron Kevin began noticing change. The kids were pleasant. The girls' dorm had become orderly and peaceful. Evidence of self-government was now visible all over the school grounds. As she administered physical exams, there were less pregnancies, less STDs. In fact, at the end of year 1, in 2011, the pregnancy rate dropped to 1.
In 2012, which was year 2, 0 pregnancies.
In year 3, 0 pregnancies.
And in year 4, 0 pregnancies.
When test scores go up, pregnancy rates goes down. The children aren't out going clubbing. They're acting better amongst each other. They've learned how to resolve conflicts based on principle. That makes the headmaster's job a lot easier.
In 2014, Matron Kevin and the students teamed up and decided to think big, pray hard, and take action. They took the principles of entrepreneurship seriously. Students and staff brainstormed about what was possible. They formed the Excel Project and put these principles into action. The girls made and sold an excellent local bread, which is known as chapati. This was done within their school grounds. Teenagers are always hungry. The profits were used to buy firewood. The boys made excellent bricks. The firewood was used to bake bricks. The church leadership of the school purchased the bricks at a reduced yet fair price and rebuilt the collapsed school kitchen. Next, a classroom was built with Excel Project bricks. A study hall for the boys is being built with Excel Project bricks. The school grounds are now stacked with the fruits of that productivity, bricks.
These kids have become experienced entrepreneurs before they graduated secondary school. Through Mission for Character, by studying ethics first with developed leaders, students have learned how to run a principle-based business. In a country with an 83% unemployment rate for those 25 years old and under, that represents hope.
We tell them from here, once you've experienced a change, which is beautiful, when you go out, share with a friend. So even when they go to other schools, they still want to portray that principle. They want to share. They are so passionate to talk about it. And that's how we reach schools.
We enrolled for Mission for Character in 2011. That was after we heard about it from some other friends. And then we were invited for the first annual conference. And since then, we started going through the principles with the girls. And indeed, there is a very big change in the life of these girls.
One thing led to another. We started working with the women, we started working with the children in schools, and doors were opening because people were like dry sponges who wanted this information. When people hear the truth, they know that it's the truth. You can feel it in your chest. You just go, oh, I know that's right.
Only God would use a special American mama, an inexperienced young African teacher, and a very discouraged widow, and put them together to restore hope. Mission for Character is restoring hope one principle at a time.